Coles and Woolworths appeared before the Senate inquiry into milk pricing today as a new price war looms, this time over chicken. Senior managers were grilled about the impact of the price cuts, with Woolies admitting they're not sustainable long-term and could hurt the dairy industry. But Coles says lower prices for the consumer will make the industry stronger. Here's Emily Stewart.
Facing the music in Canberra. Coles executives probably didn't expect that's what they'd be questioned about.
Your campaign is based on that old Status Quo song. I don't know if you're a Status Quo fan, Mr McLeod.
I do confess to being a Status Quo fan. I don't know if you are, Senator.
Although the lyrics would include, I found out, you see, I know what you're doing to me. I think there are some dairy farmers that have asked me that question.
And despite advertising that prices are down and staying down, today Coles admitted price reductions won't actually last forever.
Internally, we talk about at least 6 months, if not longer.
Right.
That's what we'd anticipate. We think that's a reasonable amount of time that the consumer would accept that down was staying down.
The public hearing was formed in response to concerns farmers would be disadvantaged by the milk price war that began in January when Coles dropped the price of milk to $1 a litre. Woolworths and Aldi soon followed suit. Since then, the price wars have moved to beer and this week, chicken. Agricultural bodies say the price war will drive customers to own brand products and will lead to reduced competition. Senator Bill Heffernan, who is also a beef farmer, couldn't contain his frustration.
You get a contract and you go home and get drunk, and then 2 years later, after you've been screwed properly, you feel like suicide. I mean, isn't it about market share? This is not about the well-being of consumers.
Woolworths pointed out it didn't start the war.
Our reaction was a reaction to the drop in the market. Our customers expect us to be competitive.
Mr McEntee says Woolworths has absorbed the costs of lowering prices, and he's concerned about the long-term impact on all levels of the supply chain. But Coles defended its price war and says lower prices for the consumer will make the industry stronger. It says there's been a 2% increase in milk sales across the board since the price wars began, and that farmers are protected by current contracts until January 2014. But on the issue of squeezing dairy farmers' margins, Coles was quick to pass the responsibility onto processors.
There is an assumption made that as a result of lowering the retail price, automatically that means that the farm gate price will be put under pressure. Our view on that is that there's higher levels of profitability within those companies overall.
Despite the public backlash from farming groups and government, Coles says it will continue to lower the prices of everyday goods. Last night, Coles' fresh chicken prices were reduced by up to 18%. But the lower chicken prices aren't expected to upset farmers in the same way the milk wars have. Supplies come mainly from one large company and a handful of smaller ones. And the supermarket giant was quick to point out it will shoulder the majority of the costs of lowering the chicken prices.